All right, now we're going to start with our two-step equations. This just means that there are two steps to solving the equation. Now I'm just going to point out that step one is always going to be our addition and subtraction first, and then step two is going to be the multiplication and division part. So you always do your adding and subtracting first when you solve a two-step equation. So let's take a look at the first example. We have 2x plus 3 equals 9. So I'm going to draw that line just to show the two sides of the equation, because whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. All right, and we're going to do that adding and subtracting first. So we have this plus 3 here. Opposite of plus would be minus. So we're going to solve this by getting rid of that 3 first. So those cancel out. Now on the left, we have 2x. And on the right, I have 9 minus 3, which is 6. Now I'm going to get rid of that 2. Now 2 next to x means it's multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 3. So that's my answer. Let's make sure it checks out. So 2x plus 3 equals 9. We're going to replace our x with 3. Now this PEMDAS is going to be a little bit longer. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. Now they do work because 9 is equal to 9. All right, so now let's do the next one. We have 4 plus 1/5 r, which is equal to negative 1. Okay, so let's start by getting rid of that 4 first. Now that 4 is a positive 4, so to get rid of it, we're going to do the opposite of positive, which is minus 4 from each side, because 4 minus 4 crosses off. So I have 1/5 r equals, now on this side I have negative 1 minus 4, which is negative 5. Now I need to get rid of that fraction. So fractions in front of letters, yes, that means multiplication, and you can divide both sides by that fraction, but when you go up to 8th grade, they're not going to let you do that. So I'm just going to show you right up front how to get rid of that fraction. What we're going to do is we're actually going to multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal is the flip of the fraction. So 1/5, the flip of that is 5/1. Now if you do that on the left, you also need to do that on the right. Now these end up crossing off, so you're left with just r. You can take a calculator and multiply this, or you can multiply it straight across. Negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. On the bottom you have just over 1, which is just negative 25. So that should be my answer. So I'm going to check this, okay, to make sure. So we're going to start off by rewriting the equation. I'm going to replace my r with negative 25. And then I'm going to do PEMDAS. So I'm going to keep this 4 because I got to do the multiplication first. So this multiplication here, 1/5 times negative 25 is negative 5. You can put that in the calculator if you want. And then I'm going to add this together, which is negative 1. And negative 1 is equal to negative 1. So that does work. All right, I'm going to have you try the next couple examples on your